Hey guys, this is Darkrai Corsalia 800 back with part 2 of What If Deku was the son of Erza. And I know it took a while for this video to come out, but that was because Christmas was coming up and my family always does something for Christmas. Yes, so I couldn't find the time to make it till now. So sorry if you began to become impatient. But anyway, back to where I left off in part 1. Baku pulled the pin in on his gauntlet, causing a huge explosion, and to go rocketing towards Zuko. Out of sheer her no, not instinct, out of sheer fear or of him actually dying, and he put up his hand and and prepared for the worst. But the explosion and well, hold on, let me redo that one. The the smoke cleared from the explosion. Everyone was a bit scared that he actually killed that Bakugo actually killed Deku, but they were shocked when they saw an ice shield protecting him. When Zuko opened his eyes, he looked and said, "What? I did it? I finally did ice magic?" And he actually shed a tear of joy. What Baku just saying, "You have another quirk? How? I thought you only have a weapon inventory quirk." With Zuko just saying, "I don't know. I guess as long as I just had a dormant ice quirk. Must have been dormant only he calling in times of need." But anyway, let's try this new. Now let's try this out. Izuku would put his hands together with his hand in the fist and put it in the palm of his hand and saying, "Ice make Lance!" And lances of ice would shoot at Baku. Baku would create explosions to break them, but one actually managed to hit him, sending him flying backwards. As he ran towards Deku, trying to cause an explosion at him, Izuku just said, "Ice make floor!" And the entire floor began to become covered in ice, making it slippery for him. And Izuku just has jumped up and Baku slipped and basically started sliding into a wall. With Bakugo getting more and more mad at the second, and to the point he just went on in blind rage, just trying to cause explosions to hit him. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had to go and do something. But anyway, Izuku would just keep dodging Bakugo's explosions. Eventually, just jumping behind him and karate chopping his neck, knocking him out. And to make sure he didn't wake up, to make sure he didn't interfere with him, Izuku tied him up and put the capture tape around his mouth. And basically contacted Momo, asking where she was and where the bomb is, with Izuku just not getting anything. Eventually, he just started re-equipped into some fast clothes into an armor that makes him faster, and basically ran all the way up to the 5th floor, and just kicked down the door with Momo just trying to reach the bomb with her almost completely frozen. With Todoroki just standing there, or leaning against the bomb, like he just didn't care what happened. When he heard the door slam open, and when he looked, he saw Zuko, who Todoroki then immediately shot ice at him, with Zuko just saying, "Ice make shield!" And an ice shield would create blocking the ice attack. With Todoroki thinking, he has an ice quirk just like me? And Izuku just took advantage of Todoroki's confusion, ran and grabbed the bomb. With a horn going off, with All Might saying, "The hero team wins!" And basically, Izuku would re-equip a fire sword and melted the ice, picking her up and taking her to Recovery Girl to make sure she was alright. With All Might saying that Izuku was the MVP of the match because he made a plan and distracted and took out the villain and took advantage of the confusion of the two. And basically all the other fights would go on as well. And at the end of the day, Momo came back and he thanked Izuku for helping her out and apologizing that she wasn't any help, with Izuku just holding up his hand saying, "No, you actually did help. Yeah, in fact, you did try your best, and it's good to try your best and not trying to do anything at all. Trust me, my mom being the number 3 hero, I know a lot about that stuff. From what her life has been like before she became a hero." With Momo just thinking, what is he talking about? Guess it's personal stuff. We don't know much about the personal lives of heroes, so I guess something could happen in their lives. And basically, he bunked, and basically, everyone would start surrounding Izuku, asking, "How do you use that ice?" In fact, I thought you only had one quirk. With Izuku just saying, "I thought so too. I guess I must have had a dormant quirk that had activated when I was in fear of my life." I mean, there are some quirks that are dormant, and I guess I'm just one of the lucky few who can use 2. Ooh, now, huh? With all of them just shaking their heads, yeah. And basically everyone would go home. When Izuku got home, he saw Erza was cooking and dinner. And in case you're wondering, no, they do not live in a mansion. They live in a normal old house because, well, they don't want to seem like the rich, spoiled type. After all, even Erza back in Fairy Tale, hell, was pretty much like that. Even though we never gotten a glimpse of what her room looked like, well, I should say apartment had looked like, or if we have, I haven't seen the episode. She said, and she he basically just bought a house and lived there with the Zuko. And Hisashi is working abroad. Basically, his father is still like in canon. And when Izuku walked in and seeing his mom cooking, he said, "Hey mom, I need to tell you something." With her just saying, with Erza just saying, "What is it, honey?" And looking at him with a confused face. He's who's saying, "I actually used ice make magic. Hector, in a hero versus his villain an exam." With her just saying, "You really did?" With the Duke just saying, "Yeah, here." And basically, he would pretty much make the fairy tale symbol out of ice, just like Gray did when he showed what type of magic he used to Lucy while on the train in season 1. With Urge just saying, "I'm so happy for you, Zuko," and basically just hugged him. He hugged him. She hugged him really tight, to the point where he couldn't breathe. After all, Urza is pretty darn strong. Maybe not as strong as Gildarts, but she is strong. Being able to hold her own against Frankie and Wizard Saint. Even though she nearly died, she still put up a good fight, even after what she went through. But anyway, back to the story. A few weeks would pass as I would then say, "All right, class, we're going on a trip out to a place called the USJ. You have the option to wear your uniform or your hero outfit." And everyone would pretty much choose the hero outfit. Basically canon. And if you're wondering what Zuko's costume is, you go watch part 1. Eventually they would meet up with both 13 and Erza. Well, I should say Titania, because that's her hero name. With Zuko just wondering, "Why are you here, Mom?" With 13 just saying, "She's here to help us instruct." And in case you're wondering, the class president, and, well, I think it's class representative. Yeah, class representative is Izuku, and he doesn't hand it to Ida. He keeps it, basically canon. So the whole thing that Ida does doesn't happen. And 13, he would explain how some quirks are dangerous and can be used to harm or kill others, and that not many he become heroes. And one day, he entered a black mist would open up and villains would come out with Kirishima just saying, "Whoa, they have fake villains here? That's awesome." With Aizawa, Titania, 13, and Izuku, who getting in fighting position, and with Aizawa saying, "Those aren't fake, those are real." And a guy that's covered in hair, and a weird purple bird-looking creature, came out of the portal with the guy with hands saying, "We are the League of Villains, and we are here to kill all my Titania and her son." And Titania had request into her into Lightning Empress armor, her and Izuku would transform into Fire or Emperor armor. Aizawa had, I would say, 13 protect students, with Titania and Aizawa jumping down and taking out villains. Since everyone thinks Erza has a re-equipping quirk, Aizawa would think that her objects permanently stay there, ever since she does re-equip them, and she can just put them back or bring them out at any time. So he didn't worry about Erza not being able to use her quirk, which we all know it's magic, not a quirk. And everyone does get split up, like in canon, with Izuku being at the water zone with Sue and Mineta. When they got onto the boat, they would try to be thinking of a plan with them explaining what their quirks are, with Izuku just saying, well, as you know, I can use ice and I can shape it, but it takes a lot of energy out of me. And the more energy I use, the more tired it'll become. With my re-equipping quirk, I can equip into armor and pull out weapons, but that's very limited. And because I can only bring out 10 at a time with one suit of armor. With Sue and Mineta her thinking that's actually amazing, being able to summon 10 weapons at the same time. And Izuku would then get an idea, saying, I think I got an idea. I'll freeze the water here to a cold temperature, or with them underneath it, or them being frozen and on the ice. With them thinking that's actually a really good idea. Izuku would then put a fist in his palm, saying, Ice make, and would jump off the boat, putting his hands on the water, saying, Floor! And the entire lake turns into ice, with villains being captured under the ice, some being captured on the ice, as in like the ice got to the freezing them there while they were above the water. With them thinking, I thought he only had one quirk. He has two? And Sue will actually be getting tired because the ice is cold and she's a frog, making her go into somewhat of a hibernation, with Izuku just putting him on his back and running to the other side. They would then see Aizawa being beaten up by the Nomu, with Titania just trying the cut, which was pretty much useless. Eventually, the Nomu has grabbed Erza's head and slammed it into the ground. Izuku, seeing this, would be mad and would charge at the Nomu with a sword in hand, with no armor on, which is pretty stupid because he's in a blind rage, saying, Get away from my mother! And him just trying to cut the Nomu's arm off, with the Nomu just grabbing it, then punching him into a wall, knocking him out. With Erza getting mad at that creature just knocked out her son, and kept trying to get the Nomu's hand off of her face. He's with not that much result, And Izuku would be in his mindscape, saying, "Where am I? I need to help my mother. I need to help my friends." Eventually, he would see a ton of silhouettes, and that's what one of them, I'm saying, like one of them, um, well, one of them isn't a silhouette because it looks like gray. He full bust. Well, it just looks like gray. And everyone else would start revealing themselves one by one, eventually getting to a silhouette looking like Erza. With Makro saying, "You care for your mother, Erza, a lot. We are her friends, her guildmates, her family. You have a pet. You already used magic once. You can now use it more. We will give you all of our knowledge of all our magic." And basically, all of them would then put their hands onto Izuku. And the only ones whose magic he doesn't get would be well, I'm making sure he isn't OP. Hold on, I forgot his name. Sorry. Guildarch is his name. I had to look it up. I forgot. He wouldn't get Guildarch nor lots of his Gajiel Wendy. He's magic but the only Dragon Slayer magic he does get is Natsu because he actually tried to train in that department, making him somewhat have a bit of a crack. And since Natsu's magic is pretty much super strong, it basically obliterated what kept him behind. Eventually, Izuku would wake up with fury in his eyes, with Shigaraki saying this and saying, "He has a lot more stamina than we thought. Nomu, forget them and kill that brat." With the Nomu just letting go at the now knocked out Erza, and running towards Deku was Izuku just saying, "Fire Dragon, roar!" and basically breathes fire at them, at the Nomu, who burning it, but his healing does heal, but his regeneration does heal it, but it's really slow since fire pretty much burns the cells. And then out of nowhere, he pulls out a deck card. Or it's just like, "Hey, well, if you haven't seen Fairy Tail, you should watch it. You'll understand, because I ain't stopping between these and explaining, making each videos longer. I'm gonna be more in the story now." And basically pull out a card showing and saying, "Rain of Lightning!" And lightning bolt would be striking the Nomu. No, pun not intended. There was no pun in that. Like, literally electrocuting it. And the Nomu's still trying to tag Izuku. Izuku just jumps up in the air. Then say, and his whole hand, then his hand chain, and what I'm saying, "Beast Arm, Iron Bull!" And basically hit as the Nomu went in the back. But then the Nomu just trying to kick him. His arms would change into some of that out of a harpy. And he would be flying. With him looking at the Nomu with killer intent. and everyone watching Deku would be like, he has multiple quirks? How is that even possible? I thought he just had a nice quirk and an equipping quirk. What's with this kid? And Shigaraki was thinking, he's cheating, as he was scratching his neck really violently. Izuku then, and just saying, time to finish this. And basically his hand would grow and grab the Nomu, throwing him up in the air, with Izuku jumping up, having a sai equipping a sai into his hand. And in case you didn't know, a sai is basically it's basically like a mini triangle. And if you haven't seen Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, then you won't know what it is. And if you have seen Mortal Kombat, it's basically what Melina has. But anyway, eventually, Izuku just stabs Nomu in the brain, killing it because the regeneration can't regenerate the brain. He would then has passed out with Shigaraki scratching his neck extremely violently, saying, "You cheater, you cheater, you cheater, you cheater, you cheater! I'll kill you!" As he would just run at Deku, who was passed out. With his hand out. All Might then burst through, with Carrie just stopping Shigaraki. He's saying, "We have to leave, young master. All Might is here, and we've lost our weapon. And to kill him, we need to retreat and regroup. That's the best option we have." With Shigaraki just going, "Fine. This isn't over, you brat." And basically, Kirigiri and Shigaraki would leave, and All Might would round up the others, and Izuku would just be passed out by exhaustion because, well, magic can't actually heal him a bit. And Nezu then decides to put out the dorm systems a few, and Erza, Aizawa 13, and Izuku would be in there. And with the time they get out, the dorms would be up with Nezu going to Tanya and Izuku, who were about to leave the campus, saying, "Hello, Miss Tanya." With Erza just saying, "Please, when I'm not on work, you can just call me Erza." With Benji just saying, "Okay, Erza. We installed dorm systems to keep the students safe, and I'm hoping you would allow us to have a Zuku go there." With Erza just thinking, if it's to keep my son safe, I'll do it. With her just saying, "Yeah, yes, that's okay with me, but I want to come over and still visit him at time to time." With Nezu just saying, "That's fine. You are the number 3 hero. We trust you." And basically, everyone will move into the dorms, and they would have a few more days off, and everyone would gather in the commons area, with Sugi asking, "Hey Deku, hey Izuku, how did you do that with all that stuff?" And Erza was in the room at the time. He wanting to visit Izuku and his new friends. With her just thinking, what'd he do? Did he use our magic? with Kirishima. Well, no, not Kirishima. Kaminari and yeah, man, how to use that lightning from 3 cards, breathing fire, turning your arm into iron, and making your hand grow. Oh, how do you explain all that? And that's where I'm gonna leave it off guys. Izuki, who'll explain about his mother in his past. You'll have to find out in the next part.